Okay, well, let's try this again. We were having some type of technical difficulty before, so I'm not exactly sure what happened last time. It said it was trying to reconnect, and then everything just kind of stopped. So we're going to try this again. So hopefully everybody that was on comes back. Hopefully they get the notification again that we are live. And we could move forward. So we'll kind of take a breather here and just kind of wait, let the notifications get sent out across the YouTube universe and see who comes back. Because we had quite a few people in here. Oh, yeah, you can come in, baby. I don't know what happened, but... Oh, I'm not using the camera. You can come in. I know you're naked. I'm not using the camera this time. I'm going to read some stories. And I was live before, and it just said where the timer is. It said reconnecting. I'm trying to get it to where it shows here. I can't figure, like the chat room, where it actually shows on the screen. I know it does that with Spencer's, and maybe I should ask him. But I don't know if he uses OBS or if he uses a different program. But I got to figure this out. But thank you. Yeah, I was running out of tea here, and I can't have that. Thank you, baby. All right, put some clothes on, you freak. I had the wife bring me up some more tea because I was running out of tea. So, Kimberly Shepard, I'm at work, so I can't stay, but wanted to say happy birthday, Zach. Hey, Kimberly, thank you so much. Hopefully you have a wonderful day at work. Hopefully it's a smooth day. And, yeah. Jared Crazy Indian says happy birthday. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate that. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. Hey, Latte. What's up, Papa? Hi. Kimberly says, that was supposed to say happy birthday, Zach. I got it. Yeah, it was correct the first time you sent it. So, yeah, I was live a little bit before, and it's funny. It's only showing Kimberly's message thing on the screen, but then there's two of hers and then Jared on there as well. So weird. Gotta figure that out. Trying to figure that out. Yeah, I still don't know everything about Streamlabs. I'm still learning some stuff on here. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. I'm just trying to see who else is going to be coming through here. That was on originally. I had to start a new live because I lost connection or something. What is it, Latte? You trying to play with the bally? Yeah. But hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. We just got back from eating a ton of sushi. Then we went to like an antique store. They're next door to a donut shop that's close to our house. So we picked up some donuts and went over to the antique store and just looked around at all the old stuff and went to the mall. We just kind of started driving. Didn't really have any plans for today. But we ended up going to the mall. I checked out the movie theater app, the Regal app, because we're part of the Unlimited Regal. There we go. I'm seeing everything on the screen. That's cool. Nice. All right, that's nice. I wanted to see that. Let's see. Kimberly says, I hope you're having a wonderful birthday. Thank you for everything you do for us, Campfire Peeps. Yes, you're welcome, Beverly. I do as much as I can. I actually came home thinking I was going to record. Yes, even on my birthday. I am kind of addicted to stories. I am addicted to recording, addicted to editing. I enjoy it. I enjoy making thumbnails. I really love the whole process of it. To me, it's not like a second job. I enjoy it. I just wish that the YouTube algorithm would discover I exist. That's all. I just got 2,200 plus videos. That's nothing, right? I got more content than Mr. Nightmare. Come on. Dwayne K says, happy birthday. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that. See, Jared Crazy Indian says, I've been painting ears on snakes. They also appreciate and seeing them smile after hearing for the first time is a blessing to my soul. That's a new one. Let's see. Anne-Marie Ray. Happy birthday, love from London. Bless you, latte. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I appreciate that. What time is it there over in London? What is going on over there? I see all these crazy videos about England. A lot of not positive stuff. What's going on over there? Seems like it's happening over in Germany too. Some craziness. People getting stabbed and they're rioting and they're like having protests and stuff. What's going on? Hopefully all is well over there, you know. What are you doing, Latte? Stop jacking with the carpet. Sorry, it's my cat, Latte. He wants some attention. The country has gone mad. That's what I'm seeing on Instagram. They're going nuts, I guess, with all the people from the Middle East and the mosques. And like I saw some guy got stabbed and all these people were like running for their lives and all kind of, I'm like, what is going on over there? Oh my goodness. And then I see all these videos about Poland and it's how clean it is and how like normal. I'm like, wow, maybe I need to go to Poland. I'm part Polish, so, you know, maybe I could get dual citizenship. I don't know. I've never been, but I would like to visit Poland one day because that's about 40% of my roots is Polish. Turmoil everywhere. Sad, Jared says. Yeah, turmoil. Yep, all you could do is concentrate on your own life and keep on trucking. That is right. Very true. But, let's see here. Anne-Marie says it's 10:34 here. 10:34 at night? Probably. Let's see. Poland loves the U.S. Yeah, I'm sure Poland does. It seems like their leadership and our leadership are pretty much on the same page as far as, you know, immigration and all that good stuff. And everything that I've seen from videos. I've never been to Poland, so I can't say, but it seems like a beautiful place. I've always wanted to visit Switzerland because I see these beautiful videos with these small little village towns and these huge waterfalls that are literally in the town and these huge mountain peaks with the snow, and I'm just like, oh, it's so beautiful. I want to visit Switzerland. I've always wanted to go to Iceland. You know, Norway, you know, because I freaking love Viking shit. So it's just, I've always wanted to travel to Europe. I've been to Portugal once. When I was in the Navy, we stopped in, was it Brisbane? I forgot. Perth, Brisbane, I forgot. Somewhere we stopped in Portugal. And I don't know, I think the most impressed part about it was I could get a beer at McDonald's when I was like 19. I didn't know the drinking age was, you know, 18 over there. So I was like able to kind of start getting hammered legally in another country. It was pretty nice. Basically, yes. Both of you guys. So what's going on with the tunes here? Oh, okay, it's the end of this song, so another one, or background music. Okay, there we go. Let me know if the background noise gets a little loud too. I could always turn it down. I did figure out how to turn up the volume of my voice on here. I just had to go into the preferences on the microphone and add gain to it and turned it up to 30, like all the way up, and now my voice is louder because I know my live chats before, my voice was super low and I wasn't sure why. Jared says, I was U.S. Army, my fellow veteran. Yes, I'm a veteran as well. Army would have been Probably would have been my other choice because my grandfather was Army. I picked Navy. Actually, the reason why I picked the Navy was because I wanted to be in San Diego. Because I was living in Florida when I was in high school, and I hated it with a passion. Like, everything about... I mean, they have beautiful beaches, but outside of that, like, I hated living there. And I knew I was going to join the military because at that time I had no interest in going to college. And my family's all in California. So I was trying to get back out west, but... So I joined the Navy because I was told I had a very high chance of getting stationed in San Diego. So I joined, because I was like, oh, okay, I don't really think there's any, like, Army bases in San Diego that I know of. And I was looking at the Marine Corps, and then they told me since I'm already on the East Coast, my chances of getting Camp Pendleton are very slim. So I'm like, okay, well, Navy it is. So I picked the Navy. I literally picked the Navy for the location. Let's see here. Kimberly says, I snuck out to smoke so I could say hi to everyone. Ha, Kimberly, nice. Speaking of smoking, everybody, your birthday boy is literally one day, technically tomorrow, 3 weeks without a cigarette. I said screw it about 3 weeks ago. I've been smoking ever since I was in the military. I started in the military just because you got more breaks. When you're out at sea for 6 months on these tours or whatnot, when you're on deployment, you only got to take, you work 12-hour shifts 7 days a week. There's no days off. And the only time you got breaks was with, if, for a bathroom or if you smoked. So I started smoking just to get some more breaks, and ended up being an addiction, and I've been smoking pretty much ever since. I did quit smoking for a couple of years. 2014 or 2015, I did quit for a couple of years, and then I went back to it. I vaped for a little bit, and I actually went to the hospital when I was vaping. I woke up one night not able to breathe, and the only way I was able to get any air in my lungs was to sit up and kind of lean back. That was the only way to get my airflow to work properly. And I didn't have any like inhaler or nothing. Like, I didn't have anything. Like, could not breathe. I went to the ER, and they were like, you got liquid in your lungs. And I'm like, what? They were like, what are you doing? I was like, they're like, do you smoke? I said, no, I don't smoke cigarettes. I started vaping. They're like, whatever you're doing, you need to stop. You have liquid in your lungs, and that's not normal. So after that day, I threw that shit in the trash, and I haven't vaped since. Like, that literally scared the crap out of me. I had to sleep on the couch, constantly hacking up this green mucus from my lungs over like 4 days at night. I was hacking so much, I lost my voice. I mean, I got sent home from work because I couldn't even speak, So having an office job at the time was pretty much useless because I couldn't even answer the phones. Hello, I'll help you. I couldn't even talk. But yeah, that scared the crap out of me, and I quit smoking for a couple of years. I was like, I'm done. So that was craziness. Yeah, I'll never vape again. That scared the crap out of me. Not waking up, not being able to breathe is insanely horrifying. We got Richard McGuire. Happy birthday, mate. Good day, mate. No shrimp on the bobby, Richard. Yes. Whenever someone says mate, I automatically think they're either Australian or English. I could be wrong, but when someone says cheers, I think the same thing. Because I know it's not an American terminology. Let me see. Basically, yes. I'm trying to catch up on these messages here. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love the attention. It's called single child syndrome. I can't get enough of it. Let's see here. I built World War II Navy ships. I almost went Navy, but didn't like the looks of the modern warships. I wasn't concerned of the warships. The thing I did not like about the Navy was the frickin' bell-bottom pants, dude. I did not like their dress uniforms or the hats with the goofy little black apron thing that you had to roll up and tie. I hated wearing those things. I only had to wear those for certain, when I had like duty or like watches. I hated wearing those things, though. Let's see here. Congratulations. Thank you. Kimberly says, congrats. I've been trying to quit smoking for about a year. I'm not strong enough. Been drinking since my dad passed away on the 24th of August. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, Kimberly. Losing a loved one is never easy. It's never easy. I've lost my mom, my stepdad, my grandma, my grandpa, and my aunt. Basically, everybody that gave a shit about the family has passed away. All that's left is a bunch of cousins that lives all over the country, and we barely speak. Everybody just has their own life, you know. There's no closeness like you would see on the TV sitcoms like Full House or Family Matters. You know, my family's not like that. I wish we were, you know. If I call or text them, they'll text back, but there's no like deep friendship connection. You know what I mean? There's nobody's like close, brotherly close, you know, with my cousins. Everybody's just doing their own thing. I wish we were all closer, but you know, some people are in Cali, some are, you know, in Washington or Oregon. I forgot where she's at now. I'm in Tennessee. I got some cousins in Florida. We're just kind of everywhere. So as far as quitting, Kimberly, it's actually a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. I smoked when I was 19 when I started smoking. That was when I went on my first cruise. And so I've been smoking for a bit, even though I did quit for a couple of years because I got that super scary thing happen to me with the vaping. But I just I got sick of it. I love the smoke. I love the feeling you get after you eat and you have a cigarette and you're full, your stomach, you're so super stuffed, right? Like any smoker in this chat room knows if you just had a frickin' buffet and you're frickin' royally stuffed, right? You have a good cigarette, man. You start to feel relaxed. You feel good. See ya, Kimberly. Actually, what I was going to tell you, I got sidetracked, is go into your grocery store or even Walmart and look for the quit smoking section. I got the patches, and I bought some nicotine gum. I bought the cheaper patches, the Kroger brand, because the main brand ones, they're like $50 for like 2 weeks of patches. And the Kroger ones, they're like $31. And they work just as good. They look like big round nipple covers, but you just stick them on your arm every day, every morning. And I chew a piece of gum in the morning, and I chew a piece of gum in the afternoon, and I chew a piece after dinner. Sometimes the damn gum with the nicotine, it gives me the hiccups really bad. I don't know. It's just the nicotine, I guess. I'm not sure. But it's worked. It really has. I'm going on 3 weeks as of tomorrow. It'll be 3 weeks without a cigarette. So it's one of the main reasons why is because I got sick of being out of breath when I'm at night. Like I'm wheezing when I'm trying to sleep. You know, I got sick of all the wheezing, shortness of breath. And another reason why was because of my recordings for my YouTube channel. You know, smoking and trying to do what I do here for storytelling, I felt like I was battling myself trying to breathe a lot of the times. So I was like, you know what? If I stop smoking, maybe I'll be able to record better, you know, for myself as far as breathing management. So that was another reason. So do I miss it? Sure, absolutely. I love having a smoke, you know, but I'm just better off without it. It's just an oral thing, so I've been chewing a lot more gum. But it is what it is, you know. But definitely check out the patch, Kimberly. If you're serious about it, if you're really like sick of it, because you know cigarettes stink. People could smell it on you. It smells. A lot of people don't like it, so you know it is what you know. It works for me. You have a smoker's cough? Oh yeah. And you don't want that to escalate into what, COPD or whatever that's called. Yeah. So if you're coughing a lot, try look into the patch. Get some nicotine gum. It'll definitely help. But you have to want to stop. If you don't really truly want to stop, you're going to take the patch. You'll still end up smoking. You have to like mentally say, I'm done with this shit, and then just give it your best shot. Jared says his doctor taught him to smoke. Richard said, Mag Spanner. I don't know what that is. 1 in 350 model ships. Bye, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, see you later. Appreciate you stopping by. I know it's late over there in England. G'day, mate. No shrimp on the barbie. But have a good night over there in England. Have some chips and some tea and Grey Poupon and some biscuits. What else do you guys eat over there? Biscuits is what you call cookies, right? Never been to England either. My aunt used to be a flight attendant, and she's been to a whole bunch of countries over there. I've always wanted to visit Poland. Poland, Norway, Switzerland for its beauty. Iceland, just because it's like straight up Viking roots over there in Norway. Oh, Anne-Marie says, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, I thought I saw Jared say bye to you. Or Kimberly said bye. Oh, Kimberly's going. Okay, see you, Kim. I was getting confused with the live chat. My bad. I don't know who's going, who's staying. Okay. So I chose to do a live stream without the camera today just because I just wasn't really up to it. I actually wanted to read you guys a story. I have a couple story submissions on my subreddit as of yesterday, and I'll be recording them, in compilation videos. Sometimes I'll put 3-4 stories into one video just to make it long enough for you guys to go to sleep to. So I'll look those up here in a second. Let me know how that background volume is. I think it's probably really low right now because I'm not seeing the little volume icon shifting around. But a new thing's just about to start here. Let me know if it gets too loud. Hey, Don. Welcome. What's going on? How are you? Let's see here. I couldn't like the patches. I started smoking when I was 8 in 1981. Oh, wow. Well, I wasn't even born, Richard. You got a few years on me. Man. I'm an 80s baby, but I wasn't born in 81. But I am an 80s baby. So, I'll give you guys a little like Easter egg about my age. I'm not a young buck. Been around the block, been around the world. But I am an 80s baby. I grew up with all the Vanilla Ices and Criss Crosses and Queensryche and Pat Benetars and Nirvanas and Metallicas all the way to this bullcrap people call music today. Okay, so let's see here. All right, perfect. Got there. Dawn, happy birthday, but I'm off to bed. It's early 11 p.m. Just hopped in to say hi and bye. Dawn, oh my goodness, go to bed. 11 o'clock. It's past your beauty sleep. You must be overseas as well. Are you in England, Ireland, Germany? You must be over there. If it's 11 p.m., you got to be over in Europe because it's only 5:52 here in the States. Let's see here. Jared Indian. Hi, Dawn and bye. Hello. Let's see. Background is fine. Thank you, Jared, for letting me know about the background. Lisa Po. Salamet Po. Thank you. Happy birthday. Lisa says 40. Oh my gosh, you're close, but I'm not going to tell you. Let's see here. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jared. All right. How you doing, Lisa? Welcome. I like the black cat icon. Sweet. I have a black cat myself. And a white cat. Well, white and brown. It's a rag doll with blue eyes. He's a sexy beast. His name is Latte. He fits it too. He fits his name now. Oh wow, you're in Sweden. Oh man. All right, you're right next to Norway. You Viking lass, you. Ha ha. Skull. Nice. I've never been to Sweden. I've always wanted to see Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, Poland, because I'm about 40% Polish. I'm here in the States. I've been to Portugal. When I was in the Navy, we stopped in Portugal. I won't go into detail of what I did in Portugal. Not so nice things. But I did have my first legal beer at McDonald's when I was 19 in Portugal. That was pretty sweet. But I didn't really go on any tours or anything. You know, I was 19. I didn't give a shit. Like, I wanted to drink, party, and get laid. You know, I didn't care. So, but looking back now, as you know, being older now, I really should have probably did some tours, checked out some museums. You know, I should have explored more, especially, you know, getting the free opportunity to see these different countries. I should have took advantage of it more maturely, but I was immature as hell. Yeah, I would definitely love to travel. Love to travel. There's several countries I would love to see over in Europe, and try out some of your guys' authentic food. Like, that's half the excitement too. Is I want to try some like real Polish food, and some real Swedish food, and Norwegian food, and I mean, I don't really care about going to France personally. I know they have those macaroons. I think that's French, right? I don't know any French fries, French toast. French fries isn't even French. Lisa says 38. I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell you. I'm an 80s baby. That's all you're getting. That's all you're going to get. You know? I mean, today's my birthday. That's you need to know. Yeah. You don't need to know. It's not that. I'm probably older than you. I'm probably older than Jared. I know Richard's got me beat. Because he said he was 8 years old in 1981 and I wasn't even born yet. So I know Richard's got me beat. Swedish food is just sill and meatballs. Meatballs, huh? I thought that was Italiano. Italiano. Oh, yeah. Italy would be a cool place to visit. Go check out the Vatican, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not Pisa. That's from the Goofy movie. That's the only name I know it by. Let's see. I couldn't live in a town or city. Wildlife is my yard every day. Videos on my channel, if it's okay to say that. Oh, I don't care, man. You could say if you have yourself a little channel, I don't give a shit. Like, as long as you're not overthrowing the chat room, I don't care, dude. It's all good. We're just chillaxing and relaxing. I was going to actually record a video today once we got home from having sushi. But the missus says, why don't you go live? It's your birthday. Go hang out with your folks. And I'm like, all right, I'll go live. See what's going on. See who's available. I know it's the weekend. People are typically out and about. Maybe a lot of folks won't be around. It's all good. Many Italians love the U.S. as well. I'm sure they do. You know, I love everybody until you give me a reason not to. Let's just say it that way, you know? I think everybody's my friend. That's how I see it. I'm not, you know, I'm from a city. I'm from a major city. I'm from San Diego. 3+ million people. When I say plus, it's because there's a lot more than that. They just haven't got the accurate number down. We're over it. That's why we moved to Tennessee, into a smaller town. We didn't want to go to Nashville. A lot of Californians moved to Nashville, and I'm like, I thought you said you wanted change. You wanted change. You basically moved to another big city with some cows. Okay, you heard that fart? That is my phone. That is not me. That is my text message, which I think is pretty sweet. Okay. Oh, okay, this somebody on Reddit. Grimes Gaming. Hi, everyone. What is going on, Grimes? How are you? And welcome. But yeah, we love living in a smaller town area. I think where we lived, I think there's only like 15,000 people in the whole area. Like, it's not a ton. But, you know, we're only like 30 minutes away from the mall, the movie theaters. We're 10 minutes away from a Home Depot, restaurants, Lowe's, Marshall's, Five and Below. I mean, everything is here where we are. You know, everything is here. Okay. I guess I'm going to be getting a lot more messages here. It always happens when I live stream. Nobody calls or texts me during the day, but as soon as I go live, everybody wants to talk. Let's see here. But yeah, I love it. There's trees, there's woods, there's creeks nearby, there's lakes everywhere. I mean, Tennessee's got thousands of lakes around here. It's really nice. All right, let's see. Grimes Gamer says, "Hi, I'm a new subscriber." Hey, Grimes, I appreciate you coming. I hope you like the content. I got plenty more coming. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, I've been recording some real sweet stuff, and I am really far in advance with my videos, as I've mentioned before, and you guys know already. I'm already working on October videos. But I finished a 3-part story that took me about 3-4 days to do, you know, because I still have a day job. Okay, so I've been trying to rock and roll YouTube on the side, trying to get YouTube famous. You know, 2,200 frickin' videos and still making chump change. But what was I gonna say? So I recorded this story by Inclusion K2. He is the author. And it's actually 4 parts, but part 3 was like fairly short, so I actually combined 3 and 4 together into the 3rd video. And it's called "I Work Abroad at a Japanese Theme Park. Another Kid Has Gone Missing." This story is fan-frickin-tastic. And I went into full acting mode. I am doing different voices for the different characters. I'm sounding Japanese when there's a Japanese character speaking to the main character of the narration story. I get into full-on Pikachu. I mean, I get into it, man. It is based out of a small island in Japan about this theme park where these kids keep vanishing, right? And some of the employees start investigating, trying to figure out where these kids are being taken to and why. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's on frickin' steroids, though. It is insane. It is frickin' cool. The animatronics that go crazy, the hologram creature monsters. It's different, and I fucking love it, okay? It was a great story, and I put sound effects in that shit. I went back to my old roots where I started putting sound effects in my shit. I mean, I'm acting out the characters, and I got doors opening and slamming sound effects. I got Pikachu sound effects because one of the kids is a Pikachu lover. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I put a lot of time into it. It was really, really good. It's that comes out in late that comes out I broke it into 3 parts, okay? And then I put all 3 parts into one video, and that's going to come out on October 29th, just a couple of days shy of Halloween. So I had all 3 parts, and I'm like, well, maybe they'll want it all in one video. So I compiled all 3 parts into one video. Ended up being like just about 2 hours long, like 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 46 seconds. And I composed all 4 parts into one video, and I'm throwing it out at the end of that month in October on the 29th. So I'm really, really excited for that one, guys. I think it's a fantastic story, very well written, and I'm looking forward to narrating more stuff by that author. And there's another series I did, a 3-part series called "My Dad Was a Wheelman for the Mob." This is not a horror story. This is not a true story. It's a creepypasta, but it's not really scary. it's a mafia story, like Italian New York mob, like mafia stuff from New York. The title grabbed me, and I talked to the author, and I said, this may flop on my channel. It's something totally different, but I love mafia stuff, so I'd love to do it. And that ended up being like, I broke that also into 3 parts, but also compiled it into one long video as well, which will come out on October 27th. My dad was a wheelman for the mob. And it is a really neat story. I didn't get into like hardcore accents because I don't really know how to do too much of an Italian accent, except for the Godfather. But there's so many different characters. It really was kind of difficult for me. So I did play the part as far as changing the tone of my voice per character. But for the Japanese theme park story, I went full out acting mode. It was badass. Like I don't think I'm that bad. Lisa says the accent. Was my Japanese accent bad? I thought I did a pretty damn good job. You got to hear it. You're just going to have to wait until October to hear it. Italiano. Let's see. Italiano. I have 3 Italian Milsurp rifles. Okay, cool. Yeah. Grimes says, like others, I listen to scary stories at bedtime. I find it hard to get radio drama style. I like that you're talking about sound effects. I find them helpful for for the imagination. Yeah, for a long time I was using sound effects, Grimes, but to believe it or not, I was having a few people complain about the sound effects. They said that they were trying to sleep and the sound effects were scaring them awake. So I stopped doing it. Because I used to add a lot of sound effects into my stories. Because my style of horror story narrations is more in the style of like audiobooks compared to just, when I opened the door, that is when I saw it. It was something I never seen before. That's how a lot of channels narrate. Very monotone. There's not a lot of life in it. There's not a big spark in the actor. So my style is more energetic, more audiobook, sponsored by this one or that one or whatever you want to call it, because it is more like a real life story being told to you like you're looking at the pages firsthand. So to me, I like to get into the story more, and my style is more like Amazon Audible, like actually audiobooks. Like I think that's more my style. How I narrate is more like a book, like I'm reading a book out loud, with a little bit of oomph to it. It's not my style is not monotone at all. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up on everybody. I can never find dramas. They're always old school. I can never find modern radio dramas. They're always old school BBC radio. Oh man, speaking of old school radio stuff, did you ever used to listen to The Shadow? The Shadow movie. The Shadow was a movie with Alec Baldwin and Shalan Khan, the last descendant of Genghis Khan. I forgot his name, but the bad guy, the Asian guy that was against the Shadow, Alec Baldwin in the movie, he was actually Kinjo in the movie with Christopher Lambert called The Hunted. He was the ninja leader of that ninja cult, Kinjo. And that's actually the name I used for the main character in that lit RPG horror story that I wrote called Escaping Horrorland, which is something that came out a few months ago. I actually wrote that. It was basically like a lit RPG video game / creepypasta. And the main character's name was Kinjo. And I got that name because I loved it. It was from The Hunted with Christopher Lambert, which is about like the last descendants of samurais and ninjas and stuff in Japan, in modern day Japan. Let's see here. Let's keep it going here. I can never find modern radio. Wow, have you proof? Proof of what? My personal. Lisa says, "Wow, have you proof?" I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to clarify that a little bit for me. My personal favorite Native American lure is skinwalkers. Yeah, skinwalkers are spooky because they shapeshift and they're like native witch doctors. I think my favorite is Wendigos because they can mimic people that you know and try to trick you to go deeper into the woods. And they're flesh eaters. They want to eat you. They have a never-ending hunger for human flesh. Skinwalkers are cool. I like them a lot, but Wendigos were always kind of my favorite. Horror Babble has a few like that. I don't know. We love that. We love that what? Okay, I'm not sure if you're speaking to me or if you're speaking to another comment in the live chat, Lisa. I like the voice with character, but both are good. Thank you. Arigato atemasu. Arigato. Hi. How about rain in the background? Oh, yeah, I do that too. Sometimes I'll put rain or a thunderstorm in the background. Sometimes I'll have like creepy music in the background, kind of what you're hearing right now. I don't even know what's playing right now, but it's distant horror music. Sometimes I'll use distant horror music. Sometimes I'll put like a thunderstorm in the background. Let's see here. Jared says, I have pics of tracks, trees, Twisted, Lisa, Sasquatch, and the spiral being who came from manifest as a psycho being on the wells on behalf. So I don't have much evidence. Richard says, is that the one where you unleashed your long sword and analyzed Bigfoot? I think Richard's talking to you, Jared. I don't know what he means by the long sword of destiny. I would check out your channel, Audio Dramas. Yeah, The Shadow was an old school series on the radio. This is before television. It was called The Shadow. They made a movie out of it with Alec Baldwin in the 90s. Great movie. But it originated, it was a comic book. The Shadow was a comic book series, but it was also a radio series that used to come on the radio. Because before TVs, it was radio. That's what you would listen to in your living room. You'd turn on the radio and you would hear the different stories and stuff. Because there was no TV back then. But The Shadow's pretty sweet. Have I ever done any Scottish horror? I don't believe I have. I did an Ireland story recently, actually. When did I do that? When was that Ireland one? That comes out September 5th. We explored a condemned island off the coast of Ireland. We found out why. That was a neat story. That comes out September 5th, but that's Ireland, not Scotland. I'm wondering, do I have... I have something... Let's see here. Okay, I have another... I have one Scottish story I haven't done yet. I think it's a little bit shy of being long enough to have it be its own video. I could be wrong. No, it's a little short. I'll have to add another story with it. The author of that one is called Cosmic Orphan 2020. And the title of that story, which is a Scottish one, it's called I Live in the Far North of Scotland. Disturbing things have washed up ashore. So I haven't done that one yet, but they did. Actually, no, I have another. Yeah, no, it's just that one. Okay. So I have one Scottish story. It's not long enough to be a single story, but it is fairly long. And then I got some short stories that got submitted to me recently. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Navajo have most tales of that, Lisa. So we don't say their names because it might call them. Oops. We're talking about Sasquatches. Thank you, Lisa. Some videos are older. Cool. Richard, LOL. Try Swedish lure. We have a lot of it. Yeah, it is Swedish lure separate or very combined with like Norwegian lure? Because I know you guys are neighbors, and I know the Swedes and the the Danish and the Norwegians are all Vikings. Do you guys all kind of have the same lure? As far as like Scandinavian folklore and history, or does each country have their own separate lure that they don't share with others? I would love for some people to send me some Swedish, Norwegian. I would love some Scandinavian lure. That would be really cool. Let's see here. I'm into it all. Let's see. I was Irish in 1982 once. Ireland is our Ireland is our Celtic brother. Close enough. Celtic pronunciation in the U.S. we typically pronounce it like Celtics. Yeah, because we have a basketball team called the Celtics, but it's pronounced Celtic. Correct. And the football team Celtic, for it's pronounced Celtic. Yeah, I think that's why people get those pronunciations incorrect, partially because of the the Boston Celtics or whatnot. Lisa says, nice talking to you. I have to go. Happy birthday. Eat all the cake you want. Yeah, we have similar Nordic rule. Cool. Okay, I figured you guys kind of all had the same kind of lure, all being Scandinavians and stuff. I'd love to. I would love for some authors to share me some of their stories. Scandinavian smoked fish is delicious. I have never tried smoked fish before. I'm picky with seafood, so I don't know if I would like that. Thank you, Lisa, for coming by. Hopefully you come around, leave a comment on videos that you listen to in the future, and pop in some more live chats. I never know when I'm going to be doing this. It's kind of sporadic when I do it. Today, I just wanted to hang out with you guys, say hello. Appreciate you coming by all the way from Sweden. Do you still listen to Ace of Base over there? Aren't they Swedish? I saw the sign. I opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. See, I told you I'm old. I'm old, but I still look like I'm like 25 or 30. Let's see. All right, so do you guys want to hear a short story, or do you want me to babble and we could talk about movies and food or what the hell's going on in life? I got some short stories here. I mostly write short. All right, let's see here. Appreciate you, Zach. No worries, Jared. Let's see here. What's old to you, though? I don't know. I'm not old. I'm just older than what people think. Let's see. ABBA was from Sweden. ABBA, are you talking about Take On Me, Take On Me? Is that the group you're referring to, ABBA? Take me home. I'm not going to sing the rest because I can't hit that high pitched part in the song. Redneck Whisperer. Yeah. Happy birthday, Zach. What's your definition of old? Well, I reckon old will be anything that you want it to be. I'm an 80s baby. I don't consider myself old, but my knees sure do when I get up them darn stairs, you know what I mean? Jared says, I am 56 and hung like a horse. Young and silly. If you don't believe me, ask me. Don't ask me that. Well, Jared, you are older than me. No, ABBA was 1970s. Oh, I'm thinking, the song I was singing was Aha. Sorry. You're right. When you said ABBA, I was thinking of the 80s group Aha, Take On Me. The cool music video about the grocery store and the black and white sketched cartoon guy grabs the girl and brings her into his realm. Yeah, I was thinking of Aha. Yeah, not ABBA. You're right. I love my 80s. I'm sorry. But yeah. I was thinking of Aha. Not sure why. But I'm a melting pot with music, though. Like, I could go into the 80s stuff from rap rock to glamour rock. I mean, it's a little bit of freestyle music. I love it all. Simone se no tiendos mendos la primera. Vatos locos forever, Holmes. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Animated. Yes. Vatos locos forever. Miklo. This is the best tamale I've had in 9 years, Vatos loco. Blood in, blood out. I have one of their t-shirts. Vatos locos forever. 80s were my youth. Yeah, 80s. I was a baby in the 80s. In diapers, literally. I remember seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1990. Oh, man. What a magnificent night that was. Almost chingon. I loved and still love Aha. Heck yeah, Anne-Marie. Aha was great. To be honest with you, that's the only song I know by that group. Take On Me. Now, Duran Duran, whew! Now, they had some hits. Duran Duran, they came with hits. Tears for Fears, come on. Ooh, doggy. Charlie Holmes. Corey Fieldman was Donatello. Yes, and Ernie Reyes Jr. was also Donatello. And then he was the pizza boy in part 2. Oh, yes. But, yeah, the turtle power, man. Even the frickin' soundtrack. Now we're talking about the 1990 movie. The soundtrack, the music. Oh, fucking amazing. I still get frickin' like that roof scene with the Shredder fighting the turtles before Master Splinter shows up. Man, I still get chills from that shit. Like I was a kid all over again. That fight scene is fantastic. Nothing will ever beat the original Turtles movie. Part 2 was good. It was more goofy because parents complained the first movie was too dark. Screw those parents. The third one was kind of goofy too, but it was set in ancient Japan. Hi, do you want some sake? Huh? Ninja Turtles are illegal. Oh, that sucks. Let's see here. Let's see. I went to... Okay. All right. Let's read this one. Let's see. How is the back... Okay, how are we going on? Let's read this one here. Let's do a little live recording. Oh, this is part one. Okay, so there's several parts of this one. Okay, let me skip this one. Maybe we'll... Oh, this one's based out of England. This is a short one. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one. Let's see which one here. Screw it. It's part one. I think there's 5 parts. I'm actually going to be doing this probably next. Of course, mind you, I'm working on October stories as we speak. But this one is called We Went to Sabotage a Fox Hunt. They Weren't Hunting Foxes. Part 1. Now, I think there's 5 parts to this, so I'm going to be just doing part 1 right now. And leave the mystery for October. So let's see, is the background music still going? Okay, it's still playing. Good. And let's get into this story. Alright. We went to sabotage a fox hunt. They weren't hunting foxes. Part 1. I remember when the first time I saw something die. A squealing hare, limbs twitching, eyes wide, ripped apart by whippets in the village green of Norfolk. I was only a 6-year-old boy. I couldn't scream, couldn't move, couldn't do anything to help the creature. Just watched the group of men cheer as fresh blood soaked the hedgerows. That moment rewired something in me. Since then, I've spent my life pushing back against the cruelty of blood sports. Anything from badger baiting, stag coursing, and of course, illegal fox hunting. Now I was behind the wheel of a rusted van rattling down narrowing country lanes, the kind that twisted like veins throughout ancient woodland. GPS had given up 10 miles back. The trees grew taller here. Here, Ash? Okay. The trees grew taller here, Ash. You and Hazel. Okay, this guy's got a different form here. The trees grew taller here, Ash, you and Hazel, forming arches overhead that blocked out the late autumn light. A strange quiet settled, the kind you could only notice when you lived too long in cities. In the back were the crew. Sophia, sharp-tongued, fierce-eyed. Sophia, sharp-tongued, fierce eyes. She had grown up in inner-city Wolverhampton. Whoa, that's a hell of a city. Sorry, this is how you do it, man. This is like before the editing. I'm screwing up and all. She had grown up in inner-city Wolverhampton. Got into animal rights after he dog. Ooh, okay, someone has some typos. Got into an animal rights after her dog was poisoned by her neighbor. One smashed a Grouse's estate's window. Ooh, hello. Estate's window with the brick wrapped in a wildlife trust leaflet. Nick was quiet, ex-army. His 1,000-yard stare never left him. But out here in the green, among the brambles and birdsong, he came closest to looking human again. This work sabotage resistance was his therapy. Tom was the youngest, barely 23. He came from a long line of country folk. His grandfather ran fox hunts in Yorkshire. Tom once helped flesh out a vixen when he was 16 and had nightmares about it for years. He joined us out of guilt, maybe, or because he believed redemption was real. We rounded the bend, and the village emerged. Harlow's Hollow. A pocket of time untouched by modernity? Oh, man. Modernity. Okay. The houses were stone and ivy-choked, roofs slanted and sagged with centuries of rain. There was no signal, no streetlights, and no traffic. Just a creeping mist and a church bell that rang at the wrong time. A hand-painted wooden sign read, "Welcome to Harlow's Hollow. Tread light, walk right." We slowed as we passed a crumbling war memorial and a small schoolhouse with boarded windows. 2 boys played football barefoot in the mud beside it. They stopped as we passed and stared, silent, unsmiling. "Feels off," Sophie muttered. "It's like stepping into the 17th century painting that doesn't want you in it." We parked beside the only pub in town, the Broken Heart. Its sagging roofline leaned as it tried to collapse in on itself. A pub sign swung in the wind, a red stag with its belly slashed open. Inside, the smell of beer, vinegar, and wet stone hit us first. James was already seated at the far table by the firelight. James was already seated at the far table by the fireless hearth. He looked like the land itself, deeply creased, sun-beaten, carved out of earth and bad luck. He didn't rise when we entered, just raised a hand and gestured us over. "Hear the ones?" he asked in a low, gruff tone. "Yeah." "You're James?" He nodded. "They're hunting again in a few days, but this ain't no fox they're after." We sat, ordered pints. The barmaid said nothing, eyes flicking to our boots, our gear. A man at the bar was carving something into the wood with his penknife. A fox? A man? It was hard to tell. Nobody smiled. Nobody spoke. Above the hearth hung a tattered, watercolored painting. At first glance, a standard fox hunt, riders, dogs, the blur of redcoats. But when you looked closer, the figure being hunted didn't look... Is it Vulpine? Vulpin? Oh, gosh. The figure being hunted didn't look vulpine, though. More humanoid. Later, when the place emptied, James leaned in. The firelight caught the lines of his face. "They've taken children before," he said. "Always made it look like runaways, accidents, but I know what I saw." Sophie frowned. "Who's they?" "The Darrow family, in the Hollow Hunt. Lord Darrow and his inner circle, been doing it for centuries." He took a deep swig from his pint, shaking his head. "Foxes, at least, keep the rabbits from eating my cabbages. These bastards. They run hounds through my pastures, kill my sheep, piss on my fences like they own everything." Sophie slammed her glass down. "Why hasn't the village stopped them? How could people let these sick fucks get away with this?" James' eyes narrowed. "Because they're afraid. Because they remember." Then they told us the folktale, passed down in dark corners and unfinished verses. Let me see how to pronounce that. Give me a second here. W-Y-R-D. That's a new one. Okay. The weird was once a man, or something like it. a keeper of balance between man and beast. When men pushed deeper into the world, I think he's got some typos in here. When men pushed deeper into the world, clearing, killing, claiming, the forest struck back. Until the Darrows made a pact. Give the weird a child, let him be raised wild, become a part of the woods, and then hunt him. A ritual sacrifice. To show the forest man still had dominion, each successful hunt won them another generation of safety, harvests and control. He paused. My son, 3 years ago, he was 6, vanished. They said he wandered off into the woods, but I found his coat, torn, just lying in the middle of the path. James took us to his land a mile outside the village, past a rusted gate and into a hollow glade. There were signs here, subtle but unmistakable. Stones stacked in spirals, bones tied with black twine. Effigies nailed the trees, half man, half beast. He's out there still, James said, pointing to the tree line. They call him the Redling. They call him the Redling now. You could see him at the edge of the woods, just watching. We made camp in his converted tool shed, maps and photos on the walls, printouts and Polaroids pinned with nails, scribbled notations, bloodstains on an old Darrow's crest. The air smelt of damp paper and cold steel. That night, by the cradle of a makeshift fire, we shared our stories again, deeper this time. I told them about the hare in Norfolk. Sophie told about the time she stopped a badger baiting ring somewhere in South Derbyshire and got glassed for it. Nick said nothing for a long time, then murmured, Kandahar was easier than this place. Tom stared at the fire. If they raised him wild, what does that... It says Tom started at the fire. I think he meant stared. Tom stared at the fire. If they raised him wild, what does this mean? Does he still think like a person? James answered, You'll see, if he lets you. And just as we settled into the silence, I saw him. In the dark woods, small, pale, draped in a fox pelt, eyes glowing faint ember. He didn't blink, just watched. All right, that is the first part. Kind of short. Definitely got some typos. Okay, I'm just writing the author to let him know you got some typos you should fix. Not hating, I'm just letting you know, man. It's throwing me off, man. There was some typos in there that were definitely throwing off my zone. All right, Jared. Peace out. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Appreciate you coming by. What is going on, everybody? So that was part 1 of 5, I believe. Got some of this Pure Leaf unsweetened tea. It's my favorite. Very thirst quenching freshness in your mouth. But yeah. So I got some stories here. I was just the Japanese carnival story was so fantastic. I hope I get more from that author. That was really good. And that wasn't even a deep woods story too. Usually I would say about 70% of the stuff I do is in the woods. But that was straight out of Japan, man. That was some good reading. I enjoyed it very much. It was a very, very good story. Very well written. Good details, characteristics. It was just overall A+. Great story. Not the best story I've ever done in my life. I mean, I think The Devil's Due is one of my favorites. That was like a 3-hour video. That freaking took forever. It was a couple other Dogman. The Story Hunter, Ironwood. That was 5 parts. Should have been 6 because it was left on a cliffhanger and it never got finished, unfortunately. I'm hoping the author comes back and gives me a part 6 and I'll just redo the whole series and put it all together. When the Forest Ran Red, I think that was another Dogman series I did. It was a 3-part story, but it was the same author that wrote Devil's Due. That was really, really a good story as well. So some of them stick out more than others. Yeah. That's that. So the fox hunt, I won't lie, I wasn't really feeling that too much. Not sure why. There wasn't a lot of detail, characteristic build-ups. It's kind of straight to the point. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the greatest. But you never know. Not everything that gets submitted is like, wow, you know what I mean? Some stuff is better than others. But yeah. So I just wanted to chillax with you guys and say hi and shoot the shit for a little bit. Probably be ending this live chat because I do need to go downstairs and take care of some things. Anthony Garcia says, hi, I'm new. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the Dark Forest and Campfire Tales. Whoa, okay. Notification on the phone here. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Oh my gosh, she wants to know where the typos were. Oh my goodness. How you doing, Anthony? How new are you? When did you first subscribe or discover the channel? Like literally like within days, or you been around for a few months? Goodness gracious. Happy birthday. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Oh, shit. Where is it? I'm trying to find that typo I was talking about here. Where was it? Oh, shit. God lies in his face. Having a brain fart here. Where was those typos at I was talking about? Oh, man. No, I'm just a new person, and I subscribe to every person that is live right now, and you are one of them. All right, well, appreciate you stopping by and subscribing, but hopefully you hear some stories later on if you're into the creepypasta fandom. Let's see here. Let's see. Pass my crumble. Where is that typo at? I'm trying to find it here. Beer vinegar. Hunting game with the stars and our pines bars and yeah, I like creepy stories and stuff. Nice, Anthony. If you like creepy stuff, then you have came to the right place. Of course, not right now. I just got done reading a story, and then we're just chillaxing at the moment. I'm going through the story I just read right now because there's a couple of typos I'm trying to let the author know to fix, and I'm just trying to figure out where those typos went. I found one, but I know there was another typo I'm trying to find. It's not. There it is. I found it. Yeah, I like creepy stories. All right, yes, sir. All right. All right. I think that's about it, guys. I just let the author know about a couple little typos that he's fixing on his end. Nothing major. But yeah, I just wanted to shoot the shit and hang out with you guys for a little bit. I think I will go downstairs and handle a few things and possibly start recording another video. Of course, today is my birthday, so I don't want to stay here all day long on the live chat. I just wanted to hang out with you guys and say hi, talk about this weekend's events, and kind of say hello. And we'll definitely be doing this again in the near future. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.